Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good Armageddon's Eve to you. It's Mark Miller here. Rory's not going to be able to make it with us today. He is not feeling well. At least that's what he says. It could be super secret British spy stuff, because we're pretty sure that guy works for MI6. So he could be fighting off ninjas and saving the world right now. So we don't have Roy with us today. But hopefully he'll feel better, and we'll see him tomorrow, and or he'll have saved the world, and there will be tomorrow. Again, welcome everyone. Let's get to a better view here of the code. We'll take a look at where we are, and this is the Dungeons and Dragons app. I think I wanted to go out. Let me show you. Let's go out here because we haven't done this in a while. Let's pop out here, and here's our latest source code right here. I put the tag out here, essentially what we left off yesterday. I made one or two changes to one or two lines of code since yesterday. Not really much. One is I did kind of a mistaken change I'd made in maybe I wouldn't say a drunken stupor, but I really don't get drunk, so that really didn't happen, I think, but it was like I was not paying attention, I think, or I was assuming, I made an assumption that that what I was doing was correct, and I looked at it again today, and I realized, and I double checked it, and I realized it was incorrect. So, not too big of a deal there. Pretty much we've left off where we were tomorrow. Where we were yesterday. So, speaking of where we were yesterday, here, let's do a couple things. Since we don't have Rory with us, let's bring up the music if we can do that. It looks like that's working. Turn up my music, my volume over here. Get that going. And, yeah. Let's see, do I have the other piece here? Here's the spreadsheet. And we were over here in this spreadsheet called trailing effects. We were working on the trailing effects, and we essentially got, we tested one of these, wild magic working. Did we get the spark trails up? And the answer was essentially yes on that. I want to continue to work on this. This part right here is not so much, these four fields here are not so much the, they're not so much the trailing effects, but they are things that happen when we roll the dice. So we've got a sound that could be played, a sound that could be played when we throw the dice, a sound that could be played when the dice first make contact with the wall or the floor, as well as a special effect that could take place when the dice first make contact with the floor. And so
Hugo is in the house.
Nice. Squeaks in silent as a mouse. And yet, Hugo is in the house. We identified you. We saw you coming in there, Hugo. Thank you for being with us today, Hugo. Always a pleasure to have you out there with watching our backs as we're writing the code. So we have a first contact sound, a first contact special effect that can happen, and also a number of halos that can go over the main dice. And those things, like I say, they are not trailing effects. Ooh, Jetsam, please just pull up a little higher next time. The guy's always flying low. Yeah. Maybe we won't notice who's here, Jetsam. That's right. Maybe we won't notice who they're here. And so a number of halos around the dice that count for the scoring. So, I don't know. You can see from the spreadsheet, I've clearly identified that this is the stuff that's, one thing, and with its yellow background, and this is something that's something different. I could take these and put them over with the shortcuts, which I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about moving the field straight over to here. thinking about putting them in their own spreadsheets as well, but then I'm thinking, oh, maintenance of this is getting a little complex. They are similar. They're kind of the effects that you want to do. And I'm also thinking about leaving them here. And that's kind of where I'm leaning towards. By the way, this is empty here. I was going to do the same trick that I was doing over on shortcuts, where if I had empty entries underneath, those were effects that just tacked on to the battle axe or whatever the effect was above. So Chaos Bolt, which is this, multi-effect piece, it's got trails spinning around me, it's got a staff swinging back and forth, all of that, multiple colors. That consists of multiple lines in the spreadsheet, which means it's order dependent. These must follow this. So it's not, I don't know, at this point, not great. It's okay. It's somewhat maintainable. And I'm not sure where we go from here. I think the place we go from here is we move this to a database and we create a special UI for editing all of these, and all of those problems that I'm talking about now kind of go away. We wrap those problems in UI and or fix the problems in the data and still wrap them in UI. So that's what I'm thinking about. So for right now, I think I'm going to leave these here, but I am going to make a change here. This Paladin Smite here, I think I'm going to come in here, and I'm not sure if I'm using this yet. Yeah, and there's one other thing I have to do. So I'll tell you what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about coming in here, let's call this Ravens. Because it's essentially, hits a bolt of lightning. It does add the halo effect to it. Yeah, this is where I want to take these four out and move them. All right, I think I'm moving them out. And actually, you know where I want to move them? So this is the crazy thing here. These actually kind of belong, not necessarily on a shortcut. They don't necessarily, I'm kind of thinking they belong almost with the character. And I know that's a little bit controversial. Copperbeardy made it in here secretly and silently. Welcome, Copperbeardy. Good to have you with us. Good to have you with us, Copperbeardy. It almost goes on the player in that the player maintains state. And some of these effects, such as Paladin Thunder and the number of halos around it, are effects that are additive. They don't happen immediately. In other words, they're modifying effects. So I might have a roll that I do normally that's an attack roll, but I might use Divine Smite on it, and the Divine Smite might then have an additive special effect. Right? So I need a way of kind of doing that in the code, which means it's not just I hit this and it goes. It means I hit this and it's an additive effect, and then later when I say roll the dice, it goes. So the question is, where am I going to store that? Will I put it with the character? I could do that. Right? The character could have some roll effects that essentially are stored and reset just before the character's turn occurs and after the character rolls. I could put them there. I could put them in kind of a global place as well, kind of in the game itself. So the game has a roll that's about to occur, and so the additive effects might go there. Let's go take a look at the code. This is what comes back, dice roll data. That's not what I want to be. I want to go back to this function I've been hanging out in with, making some changes here for a while here. Action shortcut, activate shortcut, sorry. Activate shortcut, there it is, right there. And this is where effects are essentially kind of occurring. And I've started already active die roll effects. I've started kind of working on that here. So it's going to come in and it's going to assign this piece here. That's what it's going to do. Although, and then dice roll.add effects as well. This is in prepare roll. So I essentially kind of store it here. But I kind of think what I should do is I think I should do this. To support this additive nature, I should be something along those lines. Hey, if not, whoops, not what I wanted to do, string dot is null or white space, then I'm going to assign it. But then the other thing I want to do too is out here somewhere we've got a roll dice, I think. Roll the dice, roll dice, roll the dice. Yeah, and right here, after I do that, I want to come in and I want to say, I want to set this equal to string.empty. By the way, if you're joining us late, Rory's not able to make it with us today. He's not feeling well. I'm a little bit under the weather. Oh, Hugo's saying, hey, I can see how it goes with the character. I'm glad you can, because I felt like I was like kind of in a controversial state there with that. The thing is we've already got this way of saving data to the character, and the character is very centric to our expression evaluation engine. When we evaluate expressions, we're assuming that it's about the character. We're evaluating expressions. Like I think out here in the features, right? We've got anytime we've got a set out here, if we can't find a variable of this name, then we store it in with the character. So we could, for example, set a state that says, "Hey, your next roll is going to be you have this effect." And so then just before the roll, we check that state, and then whatever it has, then we go add the effects. That's what we could do. Each character have their own twist on what they're using, especially for things like magic. Yeah. So we could do that, and we could do that pretty easily because the engine's already character-based. It's already, the only thing is that we want to, whatever states we modify, we want to clear those afterwards. So it's a very special kind of state. It's a roll state. So I'm almost thinking, so one of my ways that I've imagined solving this is by doing, creating a function called setRollState, like this. And then any variable we put in here is going to be cleared automatically after the roll. So we can kind of, go in there quickly and then have another one that says check roll state or something along those lines that gets the value back. Get roll state. So I'm thinking about that as a solution if we store it in with the character, and if we need some sort of state-based kind of conditionals for whether an effect is played or not. Because we do. For example, let me show you. This is one of our characters in the game. This character's got sneak attack as a feature right here. Let's move this a little bit off to the left here so we can see this. Oops, features and traits, sneak attack right there. Right? So you can deal an extra 3 now this isn't well written. This is actually, most of the rules on here I think are actually well written in the Dungeons & Dragons game, where you can look at them and pretty quickly say, oh, okay, I got it. But this has got some conditions here on whether you get to deal the extra 3d6 damage, right? What we want is we want the evaluation of those conditions to be totally automatic. So the Dungeon Master doesn't have to do anything. It just rolls the sneak attack if it qualifies. And so we've got a number of different conditions here. If another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it, that other enemy of the target isn't incapacitated, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll. So that's an example of something that would be an expression that would determine whether sneak attack was active or not. And if sneak attack was active, then it would do something else which would activate the special effect. So there's kind of this chaining of conditions going on here. So to solve this, we might be working with state, and we might be storing it inside of the character. So that's kind of a preview. I'm gonna sit on that idea for a little bit, and we might implement that later today. So these pieces right here are essentially additive. Will, seriously,
House.
I was like right in the path of that fireball, Will. Computer, query Alexa. Cortana, Jeeves, and Google. Select name from world where is most interesting man equals true and knows answers to universe equals true. Computer, query, return to one row. What's the name field in that row, computer? It's Will Bennett in the house. Will, glad you're here. Roy's not with us today. We got music playing. Roy's feeling a little under the weather today. We hope he feels better, or he's fighting off ninjas. Drop table users. So these are kind of additive to the role, but we don't have any situations where we really want to double up, where we want to have two different first contact sounds at the same time, two different first contact effects, two different on-throw sounds. That really is not happening at all in anything that I've seen so far. And if it does, I think at this point I'm going to be okay if there's collision and we lose one, because I'm just going to be okay with that, and we can solve that problem later. So we have, these are essentially kind of one-time things. However, we can have multiple trails. These things can be combined. I'm totally happy with those things being combined out here. So the way we have it now is these trailing effects can have optional pieces, fields that they modify. And you can see also even in the code, where is it? I think it's in trailing effect. Yeah, right here. These are for the higher level role. Not sure what to do with these. So you can see I'm like flummoxed. I'm not at a place where I've got a great place on what to do with these. In fact, if I tabbed an X reference on these, they're just used in these two places right now. I'm not doing anything with these yet. And I kind of need to do that. So if I'm going to make no changes to the data and just deal with it now, we'll see what happens with the code on this. Let's go take a look at the trailing effect. Where's from called here? That's there. Okay, what about get? Get, add effect. Okay, all right, cool. This is where add effects is coming in, and we're adding it to a list of effects. Is that right? Wait. What are we doing? We're adding it to trailing effects of the dice roll. Well, cool, because a dice roll's got num halos. So what we can do is this. It's not great, but we can do it. So let's kind of make a note. Not great, but we can do this. You know, like this. And it looks like this. The code is going to look like this. Hey, if trailing effect dot num halos is greater than 0, then we're just going to kind of bubble up these ideally non-colliding properties. It's kind of what we're going to do, like that. And so we just take those four pieces that don't really have a great place, and I think that's this one as well. Yeah, this time we're going to say not is null or white space. Boom. Then we're going to say on first contact sound is equal to on first contact sound. That we'll duplicate that line as well. And now we're going to go to on first contact effect. And I think we get, what's wrong here? That's a string here. Ooh. All right, we need to fix this. So on first contact effect, notice the comment up here. Any changes here should be reflected in get dice roll data inside dicelayer.ts. By the way, to get that in red, I just put I've got rich comments turned on, a feature of CodeRushed, and I just put an exclamation mark at the very beginning there. So we've got this important comment here. In fact, can I combine this with the pluses? Not that way. Can I do it this way? But I don't get the other one. But I can kind of say, hey, super important here, like that. Okay. So let's go to dicelayer.ts. That's going to be in the other project. Undelete, undelete, roll back, roll back. All right. get dice roll data. There we go. All right. So we're talking about changing on first contact effect from trailing sprite type there it is right there. And let's go take a look. Let's have next reference on this. It's really only used in one place. It's only for that one effect. So what we want to do is change this up. We want to say basically, hey, if that's not null, then we want to go into dice layer and I don't even remember what we're calling. We just added this yesterday and I forget what it was, but we created something to add an effect. It was add trailing effect. I want something close to this. Wait, I can actually maybe use this. I think can I do this? The trailing effect though, it's expecting a trailing effect to be passed in. What are we using in here? We're using effect type and then we're passing effect. All right, I'm just gonna do this. I am gonna make it slightly based on this. I'm gonna say add effect like this by name, but this time I'm gonna pass in a string, and this is gonna be effect name, like that. We're gonna get that there, and we're gonna get that there. We're gonna look for it in both places. Then I think I need to do something like this. Add effect. And I think it's like this is what the code is gonna look like. And this is also gonna be add effect. And I'm gonna, let's declare that. Oh, because I've already got this, it won't let me, yeah, I need to, I'll make it add effect from like that. Can I get that? There we go. Here's my add effect from, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. Hold on, I want to go back to dice roller here. Dice roller. Add sneak attack. So add sneak attack does some rotation on it. And shifts by the hue, saturation, and brightness. Yeah. And over here, we don't have anything to specify the first contact effect, hue, saturation, or brightness. So my problem is going to get worse as soon as I put that in there. Once I get, could I get clever? Hold on, what do we got over here? That's on a print play sound. But these are different kinds of effects. All right. I'm feeling it. Here goes. All right. Here it goes. Just going to copy this for a second. Oops. All right, here we go. All right, so there's that. Yeah, it's going to be a little, we'll be here for a little bit longer getting this done, I think, but I think that this is the right way to do it. All right, so now I think my suggestion is we kill all of these. We kill the pieces that we don't need anymore from here. Like that. It feels better already. It's just more work. All right, so we've got the name there. View, freeze, one word, whoops, and view, freeze, and column. Okay, feels better. Die roll effects are here. Now we can come in here, Hue shift, and so for the sneak attack, this is going to be to the player. Feels like we're about 2 worksheets away from moving to Access. I feel like we're close, aren't we? Yeah. This is what you get when you get a guy who's never done data before, really, and he's doing it all by himself, right? He's like, well, let's do this. Data looks. Every time I look at data, it looks so mind-numbingly boring to me. I'm like, oh, I don't want to learn this. I really don't want to learn this. But I feel like I'm either going to have to learn it or I'm going to have a guest on the show that just does it for me. Like Steve Smith. I should bring that guy over here because this stuff is so second nature to him. He's like, well, of course. That's simple. Of course you can do that, Mark. And I'm like, yeah, okay, thank you. Please help me. Please do it for me. All right. So we got to do something else, and we got to kill this down here. We got to and kill this like that. So I'm just going to kind of make these stand out like this. All right. So we're going to have to send more data down is what we're going to have to do. So we got hue shift here for the player for the sneak attack. We got num halos. This is feeling better, is what this is feeling. Now we also need a field to specify the die roll effects in, I think, our shortcuts. So in shortcuts, I think we have a field called, unfortunately named die roll effects. Yeah, we're gonna need another one of these. All kinds of opportunities for bugs. Okay, so die roll effects. Let's step one, rename this to what it should be. So let's go find die roll effects. Oops, I did a match case on that search. Call that trailing effects. Call this active trailing effects. All right, we're gonna call this, actually let's do this. We're gonna get 2 of these. We're gonna call one these trailing effects. Except for I just realized I need to actually do a proper rename here. And then we get back to our die roll effects here. So die roll effects is not used yet. Trailing effects is. Did I get all of these? That's weird. Double clicking on that, it's not bringing me to where I'm expecting it to be. Huh. Okay. Well, let's tap the next reference through there, and there we go. That's the main thing I'm looking at. And then die roll effects. Let's actually switch over here and use IntelliSense to finish it for us. Let's jump in here, duplicate the line, do that. Tab the next reference. And I kind of feel like we're going to want to do something very similar here. Kind of what I'm feeling for now, but you know. Okay, let's change this to add trailing effects. Let's duplicate this, add die roll effects, sweet. Let's go and drill into here. Okay, we essentially want the same, similar code. Okay, this code, which we're starting to write, is gone. We're going to have an all die roll effects is what we're going to have here. It's going to be a die roll effect. And then it becomes like that. But we don't want trailing effects. We are just going to do the mods on that and modify this guy. This class, we're in the dice roll class. Okay? That's what we're going to do. We still have to change this to a string. All right, we've got some extra stuff out in Where is it? It's in trailing effect. It's got these 4 pieces here. The on-throw sound, num halos. We need to kill all of these. Get rid of these. All 4. It's essentially these from here to here. I'm going to copy those. Whoops. Copy the. Come on. Copy those, and then kill them from here. Those are gone. Then we need to create a new class called a die roll effect. This, pop them back in, like that. And we're gonna add more fields to that. We're also going to need a DTO that has all of these, but the types of all of them are strings. All right, let's go back to our die roll effects, which are right here. And so I've got a hue shift, brightness, and I want to be able to control the saturation as well. Comments in here, leave or empty equals 100. Same comment here. Okay. Empty equals 0. Player equals clear hue shift. Okay. All right, so we need to add, we need to make sure we have all of these. First contact sound, first contact effect. I want one more in here. On stop rolling sound. That's what I'm looking at. All right, so let's grab all of these. Oh, not what I want to do. There we go. Copy. Just make sure we have all of these in here. So we've got on throw sound, we've got on first contact sound, on first contact effect, on stop rolling sound. We need to get that. So AS for an auto implemented string property. Num halos we've got. Hue shift we do not have. Saturation and brightness. Those are going to be ints. So AI, there's hue shift, duplicate line, paste it. Do that one, duplicate line, paste. Okay, so that's our dice roll effect. We need the DTO. That, and now we're going to come down in here and we're going to make everything that's an int a string. The reason we're doing this is because I want to have special handling. For example, hue shift, if the word player is in there, I want to change it to indicate that. Oh, in fact, actually hue shift should be a string here, because I actually want that decision to be made down in the TypeScript. That's what I wanted to, that's where I want it to be made. So we'll pass that down as a string. This should be DTO. Then I need a static method in here. Uppercase M for method. Uppercase means it'll be a static coming back. And so we're going to say from, whoops, sorry, I want this not here. Cut to the clipboard, bring it down here. I want it here. And I want this from the DTO right there. And let's call it DTO, like that. And then we're going to say we want, and we're going to actually, we want to return a new instance of the current active type that I'm in right there. By the way, shortcut I'm using to get that type reference, I'm just typing in T and then a /, and that will spit out the type I'm in. So now I want to create a, I can just type in also here, I can type in RI to get a result instance of that right there, variable declared. Come in here, say new dice roll effect, like that. And then we're going to say results dot, and then just do the properties across is equal to DTO. dots. Hey, you know what? Anybody want to write a template to do this for us quickly? I think we might want to do that. Let's see if we can use CodeRushed to help us out here. All right, I'm going to create a custom template. Not something I'm going to ship, but I'm going to make one for myself. I'm simply lurking, says Hugo. Template to do what? I'm going to create a template to, you know this code I have to write every time I want to transfer from a DTO over to a non-object? I want to write a template that's going to do this automatically for me. So I don't have to write this every single time. I know we've done this a lot, and we might be at the very end of you know, what we're going to do, but I do this so much, I just think I should have CodeRushed help me on it. So I want to create a template that iterates through all the properties in one, assuming there's the same properties in the other, and writes this code. So let's see if we can figure out how to do that. I'm just looking for my custom over here, and I'm going to create a new template, and I think I'm going to call this XFR. Like that. I'm going to give it a context where it only will expand inside a code block. Like that. And I don't really have to worry about collision with a variable called XFR because I don't really do variable names like that. So I'm going to be okay with that. Then I want to essentially create a for each in here. And I'm going to have to get some assistance on this. So let's look up CodeRushed for each text command. Here we go. I want to go through each property in, I could do a this, that could work for me. The identifier clip type could also be there. The identifier type from the clipboard, so I could have like the DTO. No, I think I'm going to do it in this, is what I'm going to do. All right, so let's do that. I want to do a for each, is what I want to do. So we'll say insert text command, grab the for each. And so there's my for each. It's got some parameters in it. And so we want to say, the parameters we want to use, so we want to say, I guess we could say for every public property, in this, comma, then we want to decide what we want to do for that. We want to specify what template we're going to call. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to call a different one called assign, which I'm going to create here. So here's the name of the template I'm about to create. Like that. So that's what we're going to do for each. That's what that transfer is going to do. And so now we want to create a new template here. I'm going to call it assign. Maybe we'll call it assign prop. I almost want to call it D&D assign property because I want to actually see if I can get the conversions going as well. So I'm going to call it that instead. Let's come back over here because I've got some special conversions I want to use in here. And I think I want to do, now at this point, item type is the type of the current iteration element that's coming through. So I can do, if I want to see that, I can insert a string provider and call get on it, like this. And let's just do this and pass in item type, and that should give me the type. And if I put it like, for now, we'll just do a comment and we'll hit enter on this just to see if that works. And so now if I'm in here and I type in XFR, sweet. So now we can see that we've got 4 strings, an int, 2 strings, and 2 more ints. Right? There it is right there. So cool. Let's go back into the template. The reason that's important is because I can actually use this in templates, right? So I can do something like this. I can set up a context. Do I have an is? Types match, maybe it's types match. Maybe I could just do a string comparison on it since we're just coming up. It's pretty easy. Variable matches. Sweet. So I'm going to say if variable matches, and I'm going to pass in, I don't have to do a get on it, I'm pretty sure now, because it's going to do it automatically. So if variable matches item type string, like that, I'm going to say, and instead of saying get item type, I'm going to reference item name, which is right there. So I'm going to say, hey, item name is a string, like that. And then I'm going to come in, I'm going to create an alternate expansion for it and give it a slightly different context. I think the other context we had was int, like that. Do I need to put this in? I'm not sure if I need to put that in quotes or not. Let's see what happens. Then we're going to say here is an int. And then we create one more alternate expansion with no context, and it'll say, I don't know what type this is. Like that. See what happens with that. Something's missing here. The int is maybe not working. I want to go back to the, let's go back and modify the template a second. It looks like we're getting fewer entries here. We have name, on through sound, first contact, num halos, Q shift. We missed on stop rolling sound. Oh no, here it is right here. Oh, I see. We just didn't have we got them all. I just didn't put an inner at the end of that. Okay. So it looks like we're not correctly identifying those. Yeah, there is a template that does something similar, I think, but this is, I want to specifically go in and call the mathutils.get double on it is what I want to do. If we don't know the type, we're going to say is type I don't know. It's, and then we're going to specify get item type of it. Like that, and we want to get enter at the end like that. All right, now we'll see what it is. X of R, int 32, that's what I got to look for. All right, so let's go back in. Int 32, we want this to be int 32, right here, like that. And then I presume there's also going to be a double in here. Let's create one, whoops, not duplicate. I want to create an alternate expansion. And we want to get this right here. And this is probably going to be double. Like that. Move this up here. Oh, sorry, I got to do this right here. Just to get the order. The order of these is important. Converting system types to C# keywords, I think. Yeah, keywords is what you mean. Yeah, there you go. I can English. The two last properties of type int, it said it didn't know. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So I just had to put those pieces out there to figure out what's going on as I'm building the template. And so now what I can do is this. So now I need, I can say basically this dot item name, and this is maybe, you know, superfluous. I suppose I could just do this. This is equal to, and if assuming we always have DTO on the clipboard, or alternatively, I could just paste what's on the clipboard. So I would have to copy the variable first, And then I want to do get item name again. That is for if it's a string. No need to do any conversion there. Okay. That's line one, that's that template. Down here, we're going to call in mathutils.getInt, and we're going to do this. And I think I'm going to put a, I think I'm just going to leave that like it is actually. Because this is also takes an optional parameter what its default value is. So there's my getInt. This one I'm going to put in getDouble. Like that. And then this one, I don't know the type. It's essentially the same as the string one. In fact, what we could do is, well, we don't really care if it's a string or not because that's going to be the same as this last one. So we're just going to do this and we will delete the string one. So just come in here and we'll delete this one. Like that. And so now we have, if it's an int, we'll do that line. If it's double, do we do that? And otherwise, we'll do this. And does each one of these have an enter at the end of it? That one does. This one does not. Put the enter there. And this one also does not. Put the enter there. Say OK. And so now we should be able to come in here and type in XFR with DTO on the clipboard, though. We need it on the clipboard, though. So that's on the clipboard now. Now type in XFR. And it'll do this. It's closer, but the problem is I'm not actually in an instance method. I can also hard code these. I don't know, a couple ways to fix this. Come in here like this, and I can just, of course, manually do that. Which isn't too hard. I do like this. I like how fast this is to move this across. I do want to specify my defaults here of 100 if nothing is specified, like that. But it's now much faster to write this code. I'm going to keep it as it is for now. We're going to create a from right here. Why not prompt for each object variable when invoking the template? Asked Hugo. Yeah, we've got we've got essentially that trying to get no dialogues in here. That's kind of what's going on. And we don't really have we don't have a prompt piece in there. It wouldn't be too hard to add, but we don't do that. We try to solve everything in other ways is what we try to do. With this though, we have two kinds of pieces in here. The DTO is almost always going to be named that. And we could, like I said, we could hard code the words result and DTO. I almost want to do that for now because I think it is a step better than otherwise doing it. It's not hard, so there's result there. In fact, I think it's almost better than the paste. But we could also do this. Well, at our XFR level, we could also create an alternate expansion. And this is in code block. What did I put on this? Just result on the clipboard. Hold on. And this one's going to be in code block, and I want a second one, which is clipboard has, I think there's some sort of thing that tells me the clipboard has an identifier. Oh, I thought we had editor.clipboard, that's it? Wait. Oh, okay, there we go. Has identifier. So if the clipboard's got an identifier, if that's the case, then we essentially want the same bit of code here, but we want to do something else first. We want to now say we want to call set. So we're going to insert the string provider set. Whoops. And we're going to set our source var. Maybe we'll call it our set DTO var to, and then here we're going to paste what's coming from the clipboard. Actually, we want the string. We don't want that as a text command. We want a string command. Paste. Do I have that? There you go. So there's that there, because we can only pass in string providers into string providers. We cannot pass a text command into it. So I'm just going to take what's on the clipboard and pop it in to this thing called DTO var. And I'm going to do that before I call for each on this template. But on the other template, I'm going to do this. I'm going to set DTO var to just the text DTO. And then that's going to now, we'll use that. So now inside here, instead of referring to paste, I'm going to instead do a get on this is what I'm going to do. So again, insert a string provider, get, like that. And we're going to go get that var. Like that. And I want to use that everywhere I used paste before. So now we're going to get a little bit closer here. This is going to allow me to copy something to the clipboard if I choose to, and if I don't, then if I don't have an identifier on the clipboard, then we're going to get a different result out here. So it's a little closer, but I agree that Hugo's suggestion could be useful here. All right, so now with that on the clipboard, now let's copy this to the clipboard so I don't have DTO on the clipboard, and I'm going to type in XFR, and it uses, wait, what's working there? Why the first and not all the others? Oh. It's because the sets are cleared. The variables are cleared each time we call. So that actually is not going to work. The XFR, this set var is cleared every single time. So I kind of need to double these up right here. That's what I need to do. Not great solution. All right, so let's do this instead. Just gonna have one template going in, and I'm just gonna hard code this to the DTO, because this is a template I'm only using internally for my own stuff. So that's gonna be my convention. All right, whoops. All right, there we go. So one more time, exit one. All right, that's it. Okay, so we got a little bit of help from CodeRushed there. If we have to do this again, it's going to be easier. So we've got die roll effect in here. We've got die roll effect DTO. We want to now take this, move that type to file, and we want to go to our all. Where is this showing up, by the way? Anyway, die roll effect. Oh, I think I saw it. There's my DTO. Yeah, what you got? Maybe wrap as fields so you can rename easily. I did not see that. I don't know what you mean on this. I'm like, I feel like, one, I already have the ability to rename easily. It's not that hard to do. If you're talking about these elements right here, it sounds like you're asking to create backing store and have the transfer go to the backing store so that I can rename the the property names easily without impacting the data transfer. If that's what you're suggesting, I feel like it's already easy to do that. I'm not gonna have that problem of renaming, okay? I just realized Hugo I think, figured out how to get rid of your own drone without having it come back. And that's to fly into me and do the squad command. In the template, make DTO and result fields. Ah, I think I get what you're saying. This, well, what I could do is I could do this. So let's do this. Let's create a folder in here. Maybe I think I get what your new category, and I'm going to call this transfer D property transfer, and I'm going to drag this up into here, and I'm also going to bring in that XFR up into here. Moving, I didn't quite, looks like it's not, there we go. All right, so now we've got this D&D property transfer folder here. And what I could do is I could create a template for these two pieces here. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Now I'm totally getting what you're saying. When you said field, I was thinking field of the template itself, but you're talking about actually coming in here and linking all these up. That's a good idea. So I can link these up. The problem is I only want to do it on the first one and not any of the others, is kind of what I want to do. So I think I'm just going to link them is what I'm going to do. Like that. Like that. And so there's result there. There's result there. There's result here. And then here's DTO here. I get you. And then GTO here. Did I get it on the first one? I did. And so now one more time, go back over into the dice roll effect, and we say XFR to transfer. It looks like this. And then so we can now rename it if we want to whatever we want to, like this or whatever we're going to do here. Okay, so now we can do that. We have to manually come back up, but we can put the cursor, the caret, at around the right location on maybe the one of these using soft caret command. Field is the term I was looking for earlier when I mentioned prompt. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, I'm with you guys. So what I can do here is I can say, let's put the caret around here. So there's a text command I think called soft anchor, and another one called soft caret. So we do that, soft anchor there, and a soft caret here. And what that does is if there are multiples of these that show up, it'll find, like, I think the last one. So at the very least, the caret will be wrapped around the word result on one of them. And then we can also go back to the original XFR and say at the very end of this whole thing, we want to put the final target. And now with that change, we should be able to come in here. There you see the word result is now highlighted and selected. So now I can just type in this if I want to, and then hit enter. And I thought I was going to go out to the end, but I didn't do that. So the final target looks like it didn't work, but certainly the selection did. So it gets rid of one of those for me. So, okay, let's see what happens if we create the fields around the other. I think it's going to give us fields all the way across, and it's not going to work as well like we want it to for the DTO. Let's see what happens. So we put a field around this. To do that, we need essentially a field start and field end around it. And click OK. And now what does the XFR template look like? Enter. Yeah, it does not move me to the next one. Oh, because I wasn't in a field, probably. Oh, because I only did it on one. Yeah, but it adds fields everywhere. So it's not what I want to do. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I kind of need, in order to make this work the way I want, I kind of need to have a soft field start and a soft field end. So it just creates one field around multiples. That's kind of where I need that to go. All right, better. And then I have to manually come up here and delete that. But at least they're all linked. Okay. So now next I need to do is I need to get a, I need to go find my all trailing effects, and I essentially need to create a duplicate of this class. It's going to be my all die roll effects, like this, and let's call this die roll effects, like that. And that's going to be a new list of die roll effect. And this is going to go from, I think it's going to be what, die roll effects. What's the name of that spreadsheet going to be? Yeah, die roll effects, like that. Yeah, well then it says, welcome to the CodeRushed templating stream. Kind of feels like that a little bit right now, doesn't it? And then, so die roll effect, we need to change this right here. And right here, we need this. Did we do it? I think we did it. Just maybe more keystrokes than I'd like to press, but now we've got all die roll effects. Cool. All right, back over now to all right, there's trailing effect. I'm killing that. Yeah, I've got this remove this. So the same problem there. We're moving from a enum to string. Cool thing about moving to a string is that now I can make changes on both sides with very little code or almost no code changes on either side. Where do I want to be here? Trailing effect. All that code needs to go away. Here we go. I love this. We're getting rid of this code here. Add trailing effect. So we need add die roll effect. So here we go. Here's where the code we need to write. So then we're going to say num halos is equal to that. What else do we got? We have, hold on, I want to compare it here. Hold on, let's get the caret here. Whoops, oh, die roll effect. Okay, brightness. I think it's going to be like, we're going to call this like effect brightness is what we're going to have to call something like that. And hue shift. I think we've got our first contact effect in here. Let me close this down a second because I notice there's a duplicate line is got a connection between effect and sound that I don't want. All right. All right. First contact effect. We got to change this to a type, to a string. I mean. So let's go to dicelayer.ts and do that now on that side. Okay, we're only using it here. So I'm going to kill this now. Like that. And I think what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to say if that is equal to, what am I calling it, smoke explosion? At the very least, we could do this, like that. So we still have this kind of hard-coded add sneak attack. We're going to change this type to a string. Okay. And this is the DTO here, so we have nothing declared there. This template can also be handled for generating a DTO class, assigned to a new variable of whatever type, and use the add member to class functionality. Yeah. Yeah, I need some more thought on that, Hugo, with regards to how do we take it and make it useful for everyone, but I'm with you. There's something here that I think we're doing that a lot of the other devs are doing, and there may be a way to make this easier. You like that stash, huh, Hugo? My CodeRushed stash? The show is yours, my friends. The show is yours. What do we got here? All right, so I think we fixed it on the low level side of things. We have some properties we still need to add. So we need to declare these. So let's declare this right in here. Effect brightness. Declare property. There it is. And on first contact effect. Finally, let's look. Clearly, we have some. Oh, is it really only there? We're going to change that to this. Now we change it to a string. Boom. All right. So now we're good there. So far, so good. Let's see what else we got. On first contact effect. First contact sound. Let's look at the spreadsheet. Sound on throw sound. There's some throw sound. On stop rolling sound. That 2 ons there. All right, we need to declare that, and we got num halos, hue shift, saturation, brightness. Okay, cool. So let's declare this. And now we have these 3 that we've just added to dice roll that we need to now come over into dice layer and add as well. Okay, so there, we've got those 3, and now let's add these here. Although let's make these lowercase, so it's a little happier. Find min damage. What's the number? Effect brightness, we're going to set that by default equal to 100. Effect hue shift. That's going to be a number defaulted to 0. Nope, that's a string. Sorry. All right, and then on stop rolling sound is going to be a string. Okay. Now, effect hue shift, we have to do something with, and on first contact effect is what comes here. What do we got? Is that a red mustache? Yeah, it's a little bit red. It's a little bit blue under here, but it's looking, I think we're getting some color shifting here on the on my color correction view right here. Let's see what happens if we oh, how's that look? Is that looking okay? Is that a little too Megamind-ish? Are we thinking? A little too twitchy? Yeah, that's about what's it right there. Yeah, I got a blue screen behind me, or a green screen behind me, but we're losing some of the blue in the beard. And my Fred's dad. There you go. Good question. Didn't like the caret symbol. All right. What do we got? Yeah, the stash is a little bit red, and this is a little bit blue. That's what we're doing now. The brightness. Oh, effect saturation. Seems like I've forgotten that. You do the same thing here, 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 and now we need to get effect saturation. Is effect saturation, did we forget that? I think we did. Cool. Let's clear that. World Blake says hello. Hello, gentlemen. Make your due. World Blake, thanks for showing up. Good to have you with us. All right, there's effect saturation. Oh, look at this. I'm in front of the bottom third again. I'm not sure why I jumped up so high. There we go. Okay, there's my effect saturation. Let's move closer to brightness. And where's my hue? Oh, there it is right there. Effect hue shift. Okay. If you guys know anything about contract work, I'm being approached on LinkedIn, and one opportunity is to apply for 6-month stints abroad. Yeah, I'm probably not that guy to answer that question. the only thing I guess my advice with contract work is make sure you have a clear contract in at the beginning. 1, 2, advocate for yourself. In terms, make sure you're getting a salary that's fair. Don't underbid your value. Genres of jazz. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, it did change. No blues. Whoa, we got blues? We don't have blues. That's crazy. It says the word, but we don't. That means I can have it say anything I want just by typing in genre. What happens if I do that? Look at that. I can have it say anything I want. Not in the chat. No, I know it's not saying it in the chat, but it says it on the it says it on the stream. It can't be too big though, because it puts it over on the side. Looks like we got a genre. We have a bug. Look. I'm so glad. So glad Surly Dev isn't here. Oh no, Surly Dev is here. Oh no, we're in trouble. He's now figured something out. Did something happen with that emoticon? I didn't see what happened over there. I gotta try that out. This is a family show, kids. Oh my God! Oh my God! Would you look at that? Yeah, hopefully he's looking at ducks somewhere else. Maybe he's not listening to us. All right. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy and yet so amazingly beautiful too at the same time. All right. I think I'm gonna leave that bug in until it gets really out of hand. Oh, that one didn't work. Oh, because they're emoticons, I think. But if they're, by the way, Hugo, great try. Great attempt out there with the emoji. Yeah. So that's, yeah, you're just going to get that for the emoticons here. However, if you use the Unicode emoji symbols, those will work. Yeah, you're looking at several technologies working together. That's crazy. And fun. Okay. Wait. Oh yeah, because that is, I think that's your, yeah, that's just the text coming through there. Hold on, let's demonstrate this for a second. Unicode emojis. I think there's like a Windows command for it too. Wait, let's look and see if we find that. Windows command for emojis. Windows emoji command. Win plus a dot. So that, oh, there you go. You got it, Hugo. So if I type in genre in the chat room, here, I'll do it up here so everybody can see it. Come over here for a second. And then I type in Windows dot. There it is. And so now I can pick an emoji like, I don't know, the cool guy, and then hit enter. And then we should see, whoops. I got to do this. I got to get rid of it and hit enter. And there you go. You can see what I typed in, showing up right over there. Kind of fun. Nice. Nice. Yeah, the only trick is it can't be too long because it's expecting a short word for genre. The code is. Kind of fun. But no blues or jazz. And I know it's on my list to bring Carl's music in, to add that as one of our options. Not here yet. Okay, cool. That's super cool. All right, let's see if I can remember where I was. Where was I? What were we doing? We need to get that effect in. I think the shortcut DTO. I need to fix and modify the shortcut DTO if I haven't done that already. So this is how we are going to define these pieces. Let's go to the shortcuts, dice roll effects, and then I need to add one more called our trailing effects. I think that's what I called it. And I think I added this at the very beginning. Let's double check it. Trailing effects. This is going over here. Sneak attack is the dice roll effect. Right, there's sneak attack right there. And let's double check to make sure that this trailing effects exists in our GTO, our action shortcut as well. Trailing effects is there, cool. And it looks like it's also as well in our player action shortcut. So I think that's good. And then we use it there and here. Trailing effects is used there and roll effects there. We might be ready to run. Let's try a run. Yeah, very family friendly. Poop jokes are for all ages, and I'm probably as mature as a 12-year-old on my best days. I am too. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, wait, who's that old guy? I still think of myself as like a 9-year-old kid. Like, I still remember one of the first times I was tall enough to actually see myself in a mirror at my house. I was running around a corner into the bathroom, and I run in, and I kind of jump up on the counter, and I look at my face, and I'm like, whoa! Because I really didn't have a mirror for a long time. All right, so let's... Oh, something's not going to work because we didn't export our data. We need to do that. Start sending some data out. So let's do that. We need to not be here. This is where we need to put that data. Shortcuts, trailing effects. Something's not going to work. Yeah, me, done for the day. Pirate Cat's here. Pirate Cat, good to have you with us. Cool emoticons, Pirate Cat. All right, let's keep going. Trailing effects. Here's my trailing effects. Kids, if you're just joining us, we're basically refactoring. Nothing necessarily super cool other than making the code more easily maintainable outside of the code by having the data effects stored out separately. There's my die roll effects. And I think those are the three that changed. I don't think anything happened here with players or properties or functions or weapons or spells or states. How's my day going? I think pretty good. It's not bad. I'm like, I'm much happier when I'm doing something, I think coding something for the first time rather than going in and doing a major kind of refactoring like I'm doing today. So it's okay, but working through it. It kind of has to be done. Once it's done, someone will be able to sit back and look at this and say, okay, well, let's add this sound effect here, or let's tweak this visual effect this way, right? And they'll be able to do it through the spreadsheet, download the data, reload it, take a look at it, see how it looks. It's kind of where we are now, and we'll get that better, I think, too, eventually. In terms of the, I ideally like it to be where I make a change in the spreadsheet, and then we immediately see the effect, right? Because then we can tweak with a much faster change test cycle. Okay, so now I've got those out there. Let's try. Trying to think what's our best test on this. I guess I'll initialize the player data. We'll switch over to Merkin here. Let me mute the one site I've got here. And now let's also refresh the overlays. So let me do that. Refresh. There's the dice. I'm gonna have to reload the data after I refresh. And there's a refresh on the overlays. Send the data one more time. Wait till everything is done. There's There's scroll bars. There we go. And so there is a refresh. And here's the
Bushwhacker.
Here's the player change. Looks like there's. Is it just the? It's loading the.
Bushwhacker.
Why am I hearing two of those? Is that just because I switched quickly?
Eva Merkin.
What's going on with the sound effects? I'm not hearing
Merkin Bushwhacker.
Slow.
Eva Merkin Bushwhacker.
That's better.
Eva Merkin.
Okay. Not sure what that is. It feels like it's okay now. So let's try for Merkin a wild magic roll. No sparks. So we need sparks on that. So why are we not seeing sparks on the wild magic roll here?
Your height changes.
Trailing effects feel like they're not added. Alright, so let's see if we can figure out what's going on with the trailing effects on there. Let's hide the scroll. And set a breakpoint here. See what we get for the trailing effects. So I'm going to click on, oh wait, did I do the wrong, I may have done the wrong test here. Let's try, make sure I click on the right button here. Huh. Oh, there it is. Okay, so wild magic is there. Let's run it a second. I was clicking the wrong button. Okay, so not bad.
Regain that spell slot.
Not bad. Let's go look at the low-level stuff. But it wasn't, let me just try clicking it one more time and we'll take a look at it again. Let's clear this breakpoint. Yeah, there should be a sound effect when these hit the ground that we're not hearing.
You're invisible.
Okay, yeah, so there's also a dice stop rolling on the wild magic as well. So for trailing effects, I think we're good. Are we here? Let's do it one more time. Are we hearing the spark sounds? Yeah. Yes, we're hearing the sparks and we're seeing those sparks. So when I say sparks, I'm not talking about
Someone gets poisoned.
I'm not talking about the trails behind it, but there's those little sparks that light up as it rolls. So you can see that one more time as we do it. There it is right there, the color that just flashes. Okay, so that's the spark trail. That's this effect, that's working. Let's look at the die roll effects for wild magic. I have nothing. So we want to add some stuff here for it. Let's go to my overlays layer, and let's look for wild magic on the die roller side of things. So there are some things, so should we trail sparks or not? I'm gonna kill this right here. So we should only trail sparks. I'm just gonna kill it. But just in case, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that right there. I'm gonna put my initials here just in case I need to come back and find this. Okay. All right, so let's see. There's wild magic. And not where I wanted to be. I want to be here. That's okay to keep. That's okay to keep. It's okay to keep here. So this is dice stop rolling. I need a breakpoint here. And I need, why are 2-year-olds so evil? That's a great riddle. And I need to get to the dice layer so we can stop at that breakpoint. Whoops, 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 not what I wanted. Can I delete that? I'd love to hit the delete key there and get rid of that. Let's go to the die roller. Initialize the data. Okay. Is my breakpoint loaded? There, it's loaded now. So dice stop rolling. Let's
Ava, working.
do the wild magic roll. Hiding the scroll. And here, there's the dice have stopped rolling. So at this point, we're calling safe MP3 here. We're playing the sound on the we're doing it. But what I really want to do is I don't want to play it based on that. I want to say if dice roll data dot what is it, sound on stop rolling sound, then I want to play it. Like that. I want to kill that. That's what I want. So I'm going to save that. I'm just going to hit run to keep it going.
Butterflies and flower petals.
Okay. And now I want to add that sound. Safely MP3, the stop rolling sound. If we look at the stop rolling sound back over in this space, let's see. Stop rolling sound right here. That's in dice roll that we send over. We transfer it over here. Cool. So that's our dice roll effect. So we want to come over into here. Stop rolling sound for wild magic. We want that to be here. Now, if we do that, we might hear the sound. Although I wasn't hearing it before, and I'm like, wait, why am I not hearing that? That's on the stop rolling. And I think on the throw sound, why not just try this and see what happens? Let's throw Paladin Thunder out there as well. Let's see if that's working. Okay. Whoops, I didn't want to create a new sheet. Delete that sheet. All right, now let's take this, download it. Gyro effects. There's my data. And should be able to, with a refresh, let's do it on the live stream here. So come in, refresh that page. Refresh the dice. Actually, I think all I need to do is refresh the dice. But I'll take them all. And refresh the front overlay. Let's send over the data. As soon as the scroll bars disappear. Scroll bar's taking a while to go away. What is that, the front overlay? Let me hide it. That's the front overlay. Huh. I should turn it off, turn it back, and it was refresh itself quickly. All right, there's the data that we're sending out.
Ava, Merkin.
There's Merkin. Here's the wild magic. And let's see if we hear it at the end. When the dice stop rolling, there should be a drum sound.
Take an additional action right now.
I don't think that was it. I think that was the sound effect from that happens outside of it. We're using Excel for our external data store as opposed to something more serializable like JSON. Any particular reason? Assuming easier UX for less technical people. You're asking about we, when you say we in the stream, why are we doing it here? The answer is I wanted to be able to have my data that was related to each other stackable like this. So I could just very quickly go in and say, okay, make sure my rotation looks the way it should look, my degrees offset, that sort of thing for a particular effect. I've originally started this. If your question is directly towards me, okay. And yeah, I'm actually not using Excel, it's Google Sheets, but yes, this is it. And I wanted to take the data out of the code. So originally the data was in the code, now I've moved it here. I'm probably going to move it one more place and wrap UI around it at some point. So we're kind of going in steps. It's almost like you're watching the evolution of coding over a 20-year span happening in the course of this show. Kind of. Because we started with data in the code, then we went to spreadsheet data, essentially data locally on the hard disk. Although this is in the cloud, but we're bringing it down locally and reading it. Next step is to have it in the cloud, and we're just grabbing it from the cloud. So, you know, we're kind of working our way. We're going to way through it. Okay, let me try rolling the die again. See if I can hear those, because I feel like I'm not hearing those. One more time. Oh.
Surly Dad is in the house.
Sorry. Let's turn off the music for a second. We'll listen to this carefully and see what's going on with this. All right, one more time. Wild magic roll. What's happening when I'm hitting wild magic? Oh, did I need to?
Ava.
Oh, wait. Okay, let's listen. Boom.
Cast freeze.
We are
on
not.
yourself.
We're not hearing it. So we need to figure out why we're not hearing it. We need to step into the code. So let's actually go over here. I'm going to unmute this. And on the stream, I'm going to, let me hide the scroll a second. I'm going to disable the dice for just a moment on this layer. So the 3D dice are disabled here. And now we're going to roll it one more time. Do I need to refresh here? I think I do. Need to refresh here. Send the data over. If you've not read your tweets today, my tweets today, fish feeding the ducks. I'm not sure who we're talking about here. Fair, I just think it's easier and faster to import, export, and work with data in more serialized formats, but thanks for explaining. Yeah, I don't know. The problem with JSON is it doesn't allow me to stack and get the numbers close to each other. Because when they're close to each other, I can find bugs and or I can see patterns that are harder to see with JSON. In JSON, this number and this number are not right next to each other. They're going to show up in two different objects farther away. And so that's part of the reason why I did this. I wanted to be able to see this data close together. You're talking to Surly Dev? Okay. All right. All right, so let's see here. Let's see if I can get back to where I was here. It looks like I initialized the player data. Switch
Merkin Bushwhacker.
Merkin. Click on Wild Magic. Wait, oh, it's still happening? Hold on.
You cast polymorph on yourself. I can't hear you.
Hold on, let's turn off the dice a second on this one. I've got to turn off the dice on multiple pages. So try again here. Wild Magic. That's all good. Yeah.
Here comes a unicorn.
I know we're hearing a sound, but we're not hearing the drum sounds. The problem, I'm not sure why that is the case, but we're going to set a breakpoint to find out why the drum sounds are not playing. So I want to set a breakpoint right here. Hopefully we'll hit it. Let's roll again. Here we go.
Cast spells faster.
Okay, not even getting here. So on stop rolling sound, is that my problem? Let's try one more time. Roll again. Okay. Is it really empty? It's null. Okay. So let's run it a second.
Gain all sorcery points.
Okay, well, it's being copied across, so the problem must be on the ascending side of it. Let's go set a breakpoint out of here and stop rolling sound. How many of these do we have in our spreadsheet? We have only a handful of them. Let's go reload the data and see what's happening here. Initialize player data. Should trigger a breakpoint here. No? Oh, because we're not calling load data back out here again on the all die roll effects. That's, I think, the problem. So hold on, initialize player data. Let's go find that. Oops, it was the one I already had at the top there. Here we go. Set a breakpoint there, initialize player data, and let's go in and grab all die roll effects.load data, and maybe get all trailing effects as well. Load data, get those in there, and run it. Okay. Now we've got empty coming in one. Here it comes. Okay. So now we got the right data coming in. That's what we wanted to see there. Let's go back and do a roll.
Ava, Merkin Bushwhacker.
So we're back over here. Here comes the roll.
Your height changes.
And we need our breakpoint. One more time here. Here's the roll again.
You are immune to alcohol. Let's go drinking.
All right, here we go. Stop rolling sound. Still null. That doesn't make sense to me. Oh, that was for the bonus. Hold on now. Why didn't we get it the first time is my question. We should have seen it the first time. That may be another problem here. Hold on a second. Wild magic again. Okay. Let's see what we got now. Still null. Okay, I'm not getting it. Hold on. Let's see what's going on here. Is it that my on stop rolling sound? Is this just not the right? Maybe I don't have the exact right. It's on die roll effect. This is my dice roll. I don't get this at all. Set a breakpoint here. And let's send another roll down. Not getting here. Are we getting here? Let's do another roll. Yep, we are getting here. Dice roll effects are empty. Why is that? So add die roll effects, we're calling it with active die roll effects. That's after we roll, we reset it. Huh, all right. Set a breakpoint here. Click on Wild Magic. Boom. Active shortcut. Die roll effects is empty. Okay. Did I not put down the latest of that shortcuts on there? Maybe that's my problem. Wild Magic is here. Oh, I don't have a die roll effect here. It is empty, in fact. Okay. But I want it to have a Wild Magic. That's my problem. Okay, cool. So save it there, put that there. So I've got a Wild Magic die roll effect and Wild Magic trailing effects. In fact, let's change this to Trailing Sparks because I kind of like that name better. Or maybe trailing effect, just sparks. And then now let's go into trailing effects and change this to sparks. Better. Let's export both of these. Trailing effects. And shortcuts, let's push this down. Okay, right there. Yeah, how dare it have no data? How dare it not have data when no data is specified? Sorely that was on the phone, but then got back. Capitalization, did I mess something up? Weird flex, but okay. Certainly have weird flex. Yep, got it. 3. Wait. Got it. You guys are doing some serious stuff in the background here. Cool. All right. So now let's come in here and I'm at my breakpoint still. Okay, let's run. Now we've got a breakpoint right there. Let's reinitialize the data. It's going to bring in all the effects and the player changes we've just done. I've just clicked that button. Now let's switch over here. Wild Magic. Click on it. Now we've got it. Good. So now we're sending that out. And then does that mean now on the other side, when overlays only, where are we now? Did we get something? Not this time because so I was at a breakpoint there.
Cast magic missile.
Okay, that was a little crazy because I think a lot of things were kind of building up there. I was at a breakpoint for a while there. Let's see if I do it again.
Where'd everybody go?
I think that might have been it. Let's try one more time. There's the lightning for sure.
Here comes a unicorn.
Here comes a unicorn.
The Michael Jolly is in the house.
No, look out for Jetsam. Michael Jolly ran right into Jetsam. It's late here tonight because I was streaming, but not a coding stream. Food is here. Jetsam says, tacos. Jetsam. I wonder if Jetsam is low enough to be impacted by the SWAT command. Jetsam is not. All right. So I think I'm hearing the sound now. Here's the answer to that question. Let's do it one more time. Definitely hearing the on-roll sound, that thunder.
Grow a beard.
Yeah, the problem is there's another sound that's happening as well, right at the end. I'm going to set a breakpoint in here, and let's just double check that. Not here. Here. I'm going to set a breakpoint here and get inside there and see what's happening, just to make sure we're finding it and we're playing it. Here comes the roll. Okay. Stop rolling sound is there. Wild Magic Finale, drum 18. Get inside. Save play MP3. Audio. There's the bracket index. Count stir is equal to 18. Count stir is equal to now just 18. Base file name is equal to that. Perfect. Let count be a number. Switch it over, and that's cool. If count is greater than 0, then index is equal to like 9. And now we've got base file name plus 9. So that's my file name now. Wild Magic Drum Finale Drum 9. Have we played it recently with the base file name? No, we have not. So now we're going to grab it. The sound path is sound effects. So game dev assets Dragon H sound effects / Wild Magic Finale Drum 9. Can we check to make sure that exists? It's just getting us out where we want to be here. Game dev assets. And then we're looking at Dragon H sound effects. So Dragon H sound effects. And then we're getting into Wild Magic Finale. There we go. Right? Drum 9. Drum 9 is there. Just double clicked it. It's opening up Adobe Audition. And we play it. That's the sound we should be hearing. Okay, so let's see what happens as we go through it. We got an exception? Or no? I can't tell if we have a... If play promise is not null, then we basically, oh, no, we're just executing this code that says if we catch it, I think, is that right? It says it's pending, playing now.
You cast fog cloud centered on yourself.
I did actually think I heard it. I felt like I recognized the sound amongst all of that other stuff that's happening in there. There's another way we can do that. The reason it's hard is because there's other stuff happening at the same time.
You cast fog cloud centered on yourself. Regain hit points.
All right, I'm going to be okay with it for now. It looks like we are in fact playing. Everything's looking like it's checking out. All right, I'm going to mute this. Let's go back to the live stream and we'll test on the live stream.
Regain all sorcery points.
3D dice. 3D dice loaded up here on this page. 3D dice loaded on that page. And let's refresh it. Send over more data. Okay. So now we should also be able, let's see what happens when we go
Willy Shaker.
to Willy and we say, let's use your dagger of warning, Willy. So there's Willy's dagger of warning right over there. And we're going to do a sneak attack with it, which is an add-on. Here, let me show you. It's an add-on, so it should, although wait, dagger of warning should show me some damage extra, some damage dice here, I think somewhere. I should see that. Short bow, I get it. Dagger of warning, I do not. Oh, because it's not finding dagger. It's a special magical item. That's another bug I'm going to have to fix. So we'll use short bow instead. Short bow plus a sneak attack. This should, if we run the attack, should give me some effects. Now, okay, wait, hold on. I think I'm getting them. I saw them on one, but kind of not the other. Let me do this. Let me dock for a second to get rid of the game elements here. Oh, great. The coins are still on us, but all right. Let's see what we can do here. One more time with the attack. No, we should have seen the explosion at the very beginning. So I didn't see it there. And we should have also seen the trails of smoke behind it. Well, the other thing though is I have to kind of do this again. I have to go short sword, and then sneak attack, and then run. There, that time we saw it, but we're not seeing the smoke trails behind it. So let's go look at that. Why aren't we seeing the smoke trails? I have a feeling it's a data problem. So we've added sneak attack down here, die roll effects, sneak attack trailing effect. Okay, wait. I'm going to call this smoke bomb. Just smoke bomb. Okay, so that's smoke bomb. I think the problem is again the data here. So this is going to, we're going to take this, move that there, and this is going to be smoke bomb, like that. And so the, whoops, is that right? Yeah, die roll effects and the trailing effects. No, wait, hold on. I want to call this smoke trail. Just smoke. Okay, so trailing effects is just smoke. And the die roll effects is smoke bomb, like that. Did I get these right? Smoke is there, die roll effects, smoke bomb there. All right, so let's try saving these out. Die roll effects. and trailing effects, and the shortcuts. Okay, there's my shortcuts, and then I need to reset the data, reinitialize it.
Ava Wolfhard, Willie Shaker.
Grab like the short sword right there, say it's a sneak attack, and run the attack. Good. Good. Good.
It's a hit.
Okay. Not bad. Now I can't do a second roll because what happens is the second roll is going to clear those variables out. So a second attack in a row does the same thing but without the effects. I think I want to make
That's
it.
a hit.
I think I'm clearing the data in the wrong spot. I think what I want to do is these two pieces here. I think I want to clear them in a different spot. I want to clear them when I click one of these items up here, even if it's sneak attack. That's what I think I want to do. So let's do that. Let's do that. So it's gonna be something named click out there, I bet. Maybe button click. Button. Shortcut button click. Right there. Yeah, essentially we're just calling activate shortcut. So I think, yeah, I'm actually now going to be cool with just saying, yeah, all right, makes sense. That we clear them just before is what we do. But we don't clear them here when we roll the dice. But we also clear them when we switch players. I think there's a player, like activate player. Maybe a tab, player changed. Okay, I think it goes like that. Okay. So now, let's try one more time. So we're going to say, now we're going to say we want to do the short sword, and we want it to be a sneak attack. We're going to say attack. There it is right there. Cool.
That's a hit.
And now if we want to do the same attack again, we should still see the special effects. So let's clear the dice. All right, here comes the same attack again. Yes. I want to see what's going on with the sneak attack. Special effect. Doesn't quite look the same to me. Yeah, so I want to fix this right here. The first contact effect is really not great in terms of what we're doing here. I think I want to start testing, making sure testing all of these pieces. Trailing effects, I feel like we have tested many of these. These are working like we were expecting them to work. But dice roll effects, I want to make sure that's working. This one's working. The throw sound is totally working. I verified that when we just did the wild magic. First contact sound. Yep, we heard the sneak attack sound. First contact effect, smoke explosion. Stop rolling sound. Need to test some halos. Let's add some halos to the sneak attack. I'll add like 2 halos to it. To roll. Make sure halos are working.
Bushwhacker! Eva Wolfhard!
Short sword, sneak attack, roll. Cool. We got the halos.
That is a hit!
Nice. Let's do, I love it. I'm going to even keep that effect. What did I want to do with it? I had a thought with that, and then I lost it. Saturation and brightness are not being taken into account yet. And the hue, neither is hue shift. So we need to fix that, make those work. Let's try this too. Let's just move this over here with the sneak attack, with the smoke bomb, just for now. Bring in the data. And
Merkin Bushwhacker!
short sword, sneak attack, attack. And the dice roll, it stops. Do we hear the drums?
Oh shit! Look at that damage!
I did not hear any sound there.
Hit!
Oh, there it is. I did hear it. It's just quiet. One more time.
Look at that damage!
There it is. Okay, cool. So that's there. So I'm going to delete that. Stop rolling sound is working. That's good. Saturation and brightness. I want the smoke bomb to be darker. I want to set this to 50. That's what I want. Q shift to be on player. I'm totally happy with that. All right. So let's save that. And let's make sure. Let's do one other thing. Let's change. Yeah, no, wait. No, we're good because we're actually not even shifting the hue either. That's for smoke bomb explosion. When we roll this out, here I'll do it again. When the dice hit, there's a big kind of splash. The one right up above my head. That's kind of super red. But Willie's color is a little more maroon. That should be shifted, and it's not. So we need to shift that, and we need to drop the brightness down. We want to do both of those things. So let's do that. Let's save this data. Are you sure I did download comma separated values? What's happening? Here it is. Die roll effects. Okay. Next, we want to do something down here with this data. And so what we need to do, what we want to do is instead of calling add sneak attack, which we look at it, it's adding both to two different sprites here, sneak attack bottom and sneak attack top, which are both named sneak attack. See the name there? And then there's the top one, sneak attack right there. So basically it's just the bottom layer of smoke and a top layer of smoke so the dice can pass through it so it looks real. So we need to get both of those. One's added to the front layer and one's added to the back layer. So we essentially need to do the same thing that we're doing here with the add training effect. We've got now add effect. So I think we can call add effect here to it, but we need to give it some, is anybody calling this yet? Nobody's calling this yet. We need to give it some more properties to this. And what about rotation? We're doing a rotation on this that we want to. All right, so let's come in here. We're going to add some more properties. We need to add a brightness and a saturation. And we need to add a hue shift, which is going to be a string. Like that. Saturation, brightness, hue shift. Those are the three pieces we're not working with yet. And there's an angle as well. Let's sort of reorder these parameters here. Let's make angle equal to 0. Saturation equal to 100, if not specified. Brightness equal to 100. I want to switch over to these two as well. Make saturation come first, brightness last. All right, like that. Then we're going to do this, and we're going to pass in the same variables again here, like this, to add effect from. Which is going to look like this. Although here we're going to figure out the hue, and it's going to be a number coming in. So hue, saturation, brightness, angle. Boom. Cool. By the way, this Friday, oh, I see what I got to do. Got it. Okay. All right. All right, let's go to out to the calling location where we want to put this out in Dice Roller. And it's going to look like this. Wait, what's main effect function? I see. I think I'm killing this too. Code is going to look like this. Really, you can't navigate to that with all that mess all over the place. Okay. Down the next line so we can kind of see everything here. Now the question is the angle. What are we going to do like there? I'm just wondering if we should calculate oops, I want to get this actually. This code's important. This is kind of what this code does, is like a look ahead code, and it basically calculates where, even though it's hitting, if it's going in this direction, it puts the explosion or the center of it a little further along. So it's just kind of like pushing it a little bit further in that in the direction the die is already rolling, as I recall. Percentage on die and percentage off die, basically, or no, it moves it towards the center. Might be moving it towards the center. Is what it might be doing. Okay, so let's see here. Add effect. This, effect brightness, and then we've got this angle thing here. We don't need that anymore. We've got angle as the last piece, right? It's going to be dice layer. Add effect. It's brightness, and then the last one's angle. And I'm not sure about angle. If we're going to calculate the angle and rotate it, or if we want the rotation to be something that is calculated here. But in our old add sneak attack code, I believe we were rotating it. Yeah, we calculate the rotation coming in and then do it. So I kind of feel like we need to add one more element here, rotation, like this. And oh, thanks, Early Dev. And I've done this before, actually, where I just said -1 is equal to random, because the difference between 1 and 0 in terms of rotation is -1 and 0 is so small that I thought it would just be a nice one to use for random. So I'm going to come in here and say -1 here for the smoke bomb, because I want that to rotate and have a random orientation each time. So what else? Yeah, okay, that's the only one I need to modify there. So let's come in here, let's download that. Comma separated value, dice roll effects. There. Now we're gonna have to rebuild our D&D app. So let's close it down a second. We're gonna add that rotation piece. Rotation. What did I do to offend you? Calling me by my full name? I'm not sure. What's going on? Who's behind me? Is he sneaking up behind me? SWAT is not working. All right, there's rotation right there. There's my get int call there. drill into num halos. Here's my rotation, like that. Let's go see where these are transferred over. Right here. And then we're going to come in here and say rotation, but we're going to call this effect rotation, which we're going to declare right next to effect brightness, like that. Whoops. Effect rotation. And so now we need to go find effect brightness, which I think we can get pretty close to it right here. There it is. And let's add a effect rotation, set equal to 0, lowercase. Okay, I feel like we've just done all the work we need to do, except for one last thing we need to do is we need to pass that in as a parameter right here. Like that. Now, the hue shift, I just realized we're not doing anything with. We need to fix the hue shift issue as well. We need hue shift is equal to player, then hue is equal to something called the active player hue shift, like that. Otherwise, hue go Code Man! Save the day! This is awesome. What's on the agenda today? I'm sure the stream is almost over. It says Codeman Codes. No, not really. I don't know when it's over. I'm just like, what are we doing? We are taking our data, our special die effects, and we're making it data driven. So right now I just added a rotation field right up here for the smoke bombs. We've got some die roll effects and trailing effects. These all look like they're working well. So these are effects that go behind the die as it rolls. And these are effects that can happen, including sound effects that happen when we throw the dice, when the dice first make contact with the floor. So we can have a sound effect and a special visual effect. And then we can control what we're going to do with that visual effect as well. And oh, guess what? We need scale. We totally need scale here as well. While we're there, let's modify it and change scale. Let's add scale as well. And for the smoke explosion, why not? Let's go to 1.3. Let's make it go nuts up here. Let's put a comment in here that says empty equals 1. So if the scale is empty, it's going to be 1. And let's add scale as well. We need to do that. We were in the middle of taking that data down here and doing something with it. So there's our hue and add effect from, and we need the hue shift next, and we need the saturation next, which is we are passing in, and we're passing in the brightness as well, and the angle is the last one is what it looks like. But guess what? We're going to need to also add the scale. I'm going to put scale right here as this parameter. We also want to check that says, hey, if the angle is -1, Surly Dev says, don't count on the Code Codes. He was on until well after 8 yesterday. Yeah, so my wife is teaching at a local school, and she's out of the house, which means there's no real reason to break for lunch to go hang out with her because she's not here, which means if I'm so inspired, I'm going to keep going. So here we go. Angle is equal to, we want to say math.random. Do I have a random? I think I have a random class here, right? random dot max 360. So we'll do that. So now we've just taken care of that. We've taken the hue shift issue as well. And we need to go add scale up here to add effect from. Where is it? Scale. Needs to go right there. I'm not allowed to be left home alone. Well, it's very lucky. Okay. So now we've got scale going in. Did I declare it here? Nope, I did not declare it here. So I need to do the same thing here. Scale, like that. Okay. So we have not, so for some reason, wait, I guess we haven't refreshed. Because this should not be working. Right now, nothing should be working in terms of smoke bomb effects. And I think we just haven't refreshed. Neither should Mark, Codename Codes. He's liable to set up pyrotechnics indoors. I've done that. I wonder if the school would object if we set up pyrotechnics at school in my special effects class. I should probably ask after we're going to call this effect scale. I think I should ask after I do it, for real. All right, so now we need to go declare an effect scale. Let's go do that. There's the one right there. Good. So declare effect scale on the upper side of things here. That's going to be a double. That's my effect scale right there. Good. Look at that. Look at how smart. Wow. Look at this duplicate line right here. Boom. Right? It said, oh, I see what's going on here. I'll take your effect scale. And we'll do that with it. All right, so there's that. And then we want to go in here and get us a scale. It's going to be a double. So just having TD right there. Tab to next reference here. Duplicate this. Scale right there. Let's do a big fat get double, I mean, there. By the way, if we did our XFR here, we haven't tested the double yet, but that's, oh, we need to get it on our DTO. It still work. Watch this. Should see the double there. Nope. Uh-oh. We need to check that type. Let's fix that. CodeRushed code templates. The type is not double lowercase. Small change here. So we can see what that type is. The double. Let's do XFR again. It's a template we created earlier. Double with an uppercase D. That's what we got to do. Okay. All right, so that means here we're going to get rid of that. And here we're going to change it to that. So now we type in XFR. We built this template early in the show to just be able to write code like this very quickly. Very specific to this project. But there it is right there. There it gets the get double for us. Just what we want. Okay. Now I need to go declare this. And I think I'm done. I think I did it on all sides. So there we go. So now let's restart this. Did I get it all? Did I get it all the way across? Let's see here. Scale goes to there. Effect scale goes to there. That's on dice roll. Sweet. And that's passed down. I think I got it all. I need to do a refresh of the die game.
Willie Shaker.
Okay, there's the refresh of the die. Let's refresh everything while we're at it. Drag it back overlay. Refresh that. Sweet. Yeah, it's cool. We've got a back layer and a front layer for general special effects. Then we have the dice between those two, I think. And the dice itself has a back and front layer as well for the die effects. So we've got some kind of cool things going on here. All right, initialize the player data. There's that. Let's switch to Willie. Let's get his sneak attack going. First we have to say short sword. Then we're going to sneak attack it. That adds 3d6 to it. There's the roll. No effects at all. Oh wait, maybe they're loading. Halo's popped up at the last minute. Yeah, I think we're loading them. It's delay load. Let's try it again. Run again. Here comes the attack again.
Oh, and look at all that damage.
Better. I don't see the first major hit though. Oh wait, I know what the problem is. It's on this side. It is on, hold on, let's find my way into it. Here's my problem, right here. Well, no, it may not be the problem actually. I do need to make a change here though. Let's reinitialize the data. This needs to get a 1 right here. Scale is null here. Oh, I know why, because I didn't export the data. Okay, so it's scaling everything down to 0. Is that what I think is happening? We need to export the data. So we need to come over here. I made a change to this sheet. I think only this sheet. So now we got our rotation in there. And now, with that data exported, reinitialize the data.
Bushwhacker Willie.
Try to scroll. Bring up the short sword. Sneak attack it. And roll it. I did not see the explosion at the beginning.
Special delivery damage.
Not seeing the first contact special effect. Is it because the name of the effect is different? Smoke explosion is the first contact effect name, but I think it's called sneak attack down in my overlays. That's in my dice layer, I think. Let's just do a search for sneak, because I'm pretty sure that's what I'm remembering. Yeah, it's called sneak attack. And I think I should change it. I'm going to call this, can I rename it? Here we go. Smoke explosion top. And this one's going to be smoke explosion bottom. And I'm going to call this smoke explosion. That. Now, does that match the text? It does. Now let's refresh the dice layer. Dice layer is refreshed. Initialize the data again.
Merkin Bushwhacker.
Here comes the short sword. Sneak attack. Go. Let's do it again, just in case we had delay loading on the imagery there. Let's do it again. Here it is again. Still not seeing it. Come on. All right, let's set a breakpoint. Oh wait, what's interesting is
That's a hit.
well, hold on. Let's refresh over here. See what's going on this side of things here. Visualize clear data.
Pushback release trigger.
Short sword, sneak attack. Do we see the explosion? I'm gonna take it off screen and click it. Here comes the click and the roll. No, we don't see it. Whoa. Okay. I was gonna say all special effects are gone, but they're just delay loading. It's okay. Let's try again. No. Okay, so definitely aren't seeing it. Let's see why not. I don't know where I want to set that breakpoint. And here comes the roll again. All right, so here we are. Smoke explosion. We got some numbers here that look good. The scale is 1.3. Hue shift is player. Uh-oh, saturation is 0. Saturation should not be 0. Hold on. Is that a problem up here? Yep, it's here. Let me fix that real quickly here. Boom. This has got to be a 100. And this has got to be a 100. For those two. Any other defaults I'm missing? No. All right. Clear that and run it. Okay, we're over here now. I'm going to the effect saturation. I want to get good data here before I
Making contact. That is a hit.
So we've got now better data.
Working. Willie.
And now let's try one more time. Short sword. Sneak attack. Hit. Here's the break. Now what's my saturation? Good, 100. 50. Effect rotation. Data looks good. Actually, let's clear this a second and see what happens. Here we are right here. See if I can run it and get us out there.
That is a hit.
Try one more time. Attack. Are we seeing it? No, it's still not seeing it. Okay, so we'll set that breakpoint. The data looks good. I didn't check X and Y. Oh! We're actually not sending the X and Ys I want to send. Slightly off. Still, we should be seeing it here. Let's do a refresh over here. I don't think this is going to make any difference at all. All right, sending the data over. Short bow, sneak attack, go.
Hit.
So let's set the breakpoint, figure out why this isn't adding the effect we want it to add.
It's a hit.
Hue shift, it was player. Oh, active hue shift was 0. Interesting. Angle is random. Add effect from. Oh, Dadoy. Okay. That could totally do it. Having no code in there. That could totally do it. So we need something that looks a little bit like this. I'm just going to grab this code right here. And we'll pop it down here. Okay, and we're going to call this hue shift. Like that. The index, we're going to say we'll start at 0 for that effect. Now rotation offset, this is going to be our angle. Oh yeah, we don't have any of this. We're just going to be angle. There's no lifespan right now. No fade out, fade in time. No opacity. We do have brightness. We do have saturation. And we have a scale. Missing anything else? Everything else is used. And we return it. Sweet. That might fix it. All right, so let's come back in, do a refresh. Send over the data. Switch to Willie. Arm him with the short sword. Do a sneak attack, and here it comes. I'm going to clear this breakpoint and just run it and see what happens. Here it comes again. Still don't see it. Oh wait, there it is. It's just loading. Here it comes again. Nice. Nice. Okay, cool. It's a little too dark.
Dealing the damage.
So let's make the brightness 75%. Die roll effects. Reinitialize the data. In fact, let's go do this live on the stream. You can watch it on the stream. Let's go refresh the dice layer. I think that's really the only thing that we have to refresh and initialize.
Merkin Bushwhacker. Shaker.
Short sword. Sneak attack. Attack. I think we're just dealing with the loading, delay loading of the assets here. Here it comes again. There it is. It's not bad.
Miss. Hit.
Let's give him advantage. Here comes again. Nice. In the spirit of the sneak attack. All right. Can we now get Ava's?
Ava.
Started yesterday. Let's see if we can get her smiting attack, her smiting effects working. And here's where we might be specifying those in this column right here. Ava's got divine smite, and that's kind of a modifier piece. It's not something that actually does a roll, I think. Spell slot level 2. Yeah. I'd say we play with it here. So we take divine smite, and divine smite's going to have some trailing effects. It's going to have spirals and ravens. Ravens and spirals. The trailing effects, we're going to say ravens, semicolon, spirals. Like that. And that's the same here and here. And then for the die roll effect, we're going to do this. Paladin Smite, which gives her 3 halos and the Paladin Thunder sound effect, which occurs. So we're going to do this here. Right there. Now, I'm not going to save this yet, but I just want to come out here and see what happens when we do this now. When I click Divine Smite, nothing happens, no die roll. And however, I bring up the Battle Axe and then click on Divine Smite. But we are doing something here. 0d8? Looks like we got a bug here, kids. That's a separate issue we're going to have to fix. What happens if I do the roll? There's definitely no effects there when I do the roll. Looks like I got a math error here somewhere, a bug in the code calculating this damage. Divine Smite. All right, let's save this out though, see if we can get the effects at least. So those are saved. Initializing the data. All right, here's the Great Sword. Clicking Divine Smite and running the attack. I don't see the ravens.
Making contact. That is a hit.
Let's try it again. Were they delay loaded? Nope, just the spirals. Let's see what's going on with the ravens. So I think those spirals are coming out a little too fast. This one they're all by themselves. What's going on with the ravens? The effect type, this is the name of the effect. It's called Raven, is what we're looking for. Let's go to the overlay, go to the dice layer. I think the problem is because I've got ravens are special kind of deal. Yeah, ravens are a special deal. I need to grab. And so let's go down here. And I think it looks like this. If trailing effect equals Raven, then we're going to say sprites is equal to kind of like a this.get ravens or something. We do have an add Raven call. Yeah, I think what I need to do is I need something like this. I need a LSPS here. So this is going to be our Ravens, and that's going to be equal to this. And so we're going to say this. I kind of want to extract this to get Ravens. I'm just saying it's a number. Absolutely not a number. Why did you think I wanted that to get? That's not what I wanted. Oh, it just got the whole extract method wrong. Did not understand that that's what I wanted. Maybe because of I didn't have the code right. I wanted that there. Then I wanted this. Extract method. Is it me? It is me. Okay, get Ravens. That. And so we're going to have this special thing that we're going to go out and grab a special Ravens piece, sprite array from sprites instance. Shirley Dev says, now remember what I said about me streaming, me playing the drones on Mark's stream? I don't remember that. I may miss that. All right. So that's what I want. We're not going to call add Raven, but we're going to say sprites equals this dot get Ravens. Like that. And the Ravens are on the back layer effect. That's what I'm looking for there. So sprites is equal to there. Then I want to say something essentially like this. Get Ravens is always going to return something, so I don't actually need to check to see if it's found or not. I think that's the fix. So that should fix the Ravens. Let's do a refresh on the dice over here. Send over some data.
Merkin Bushwhacker.
Get the Great Sword, do the Divine Smite, and what's that?
It's a hit.
Nice. And the trailing effect, are we doing the hue shift for the Ravens as well? We are, sweet. So I thought the Ravens were all black, and I was like, why am I doing that? I don't understand that, but I just saw that in there. If we look at the outline color of the Ravens, here, I'll do it again. Here's the attack again. They're kind of a bluish green color there.
And there's going to be some damage.
Nice, so that is data driven now. Sweet.
That's a hit.
Give her advantage. Here it comes. Cool. Now, if we switch to another weapon, like the battle axe, right there, and we just do a run, there should be no special effects with it. Nice. Cool.
Hit.
But now if we're on that weapon and now we click on Divine Smite, and then we say attack, we get the special effects on it. So we lose the damage dice. There's a problem there. I'm not sure what it is, but we need to take a look at that. I'm not going to look at that now. Good. That's not bad. Willie. Short sword. Sneak attack. Run. The dice. Nice. Look at the colors. They're looking good. And then nice little halo there to indicate super souped up dice. I love it. There's another one for that sneak attack. Yeah. Sweet. And then we have my wild magic roll. Looking good.
Fire touch.
Right. I think we're done, kids. Let's see who's out there streaming. Had a good time with everybody. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow we could hope Rory's going to be with us. Hopefully he's feeling better. I'm going to take you to InstaFlap. We're going over there. That's where we're going next. I want everybody to say hi to InstaFlap. I might hang out with you guys for a while. I'm going to get some food. Get on with my regular day. We did it. We did it, everyone. We made it through the show. Nobody got hurt. Woohoo! I'm going to check in the code as well at the end of this. All right. See you, kids.